Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hobby Lodge, and today I'm going to do a really quick video on a retro gaming store that I popped in today as me and the family went for a little trip down to Herne Bay, which is on the Kent southeast coast, on the way to places like Margate and other beachy areas down that way. But you'll come across Herne Bay, and in Herne Bay there is a place called GameNation. Now I'm a bit cold actually. We just got back, and I thought I'd get this video out done straight away. But my hands are still cold. It's a wintry, miserable day. It's fireworks night, depending on when you watch this. But just so you know, it is fireworks night. Hey, well, maybe we'll get some bangs and some crashes in the background in a minute, because it is getting dark, and I'm sure people are starting to warm up those bonfires to get those fireworks sent off. Anyway, went for a dog walk, and I remembered maybe there was a retro store down here, so I quickly grabbed my phone, looked up gaming shops or retro shops and things on there, and I came across a GameNation. And I have walked past this before, but when I went there it was closed, unfortunately. But today we were lucky, it was open, so we went inside and had a look around. Now whilst I'm talking, I'm going to be putting up some pictures and some video I took inside the shop. The people in there were super nice, no worries whatsoever. I asked if I could do a bit of recording. Yeah, of course, mate, no worries. I'd mentioned that I'd done a YouTube channel. They asked what the channel was called, and they were super nice. So yeah, walked around inside. It's kind of what you would expect, so I'm not going to say there's nothing there that you wouldn't find in other gaming shops, but to be honest, where I live in the southeast of Kent, they are very far and few between, so it's lovely to see one that is for me about 45 minutes drive, but because it's down on the coast, it's somewhere you go quite a bit, especially in the summer, obviously. So it's not somewhere that's kind of too far out of the way to go to. So yeah, I will definitely be going down there again, because they had something that I really liked. They had Amiga stuff. As some of you may know, I am niching, but I don't want to, I'll always look at other stuff, but I am definitely more niched into Commodore, be that Commodore 64, Commodore Amiga. But that is obviously also really hard to find in your retro gaming stores, because lots of retro gaming stores focus on, of course, the cartridge-based systems, your Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Mega Drives, and all of those sorts of things. So it can be hard to find, Commodore 64 and Commodore Amiga games. So when you come across them, it's nice. But they had a good bunch. So walking around, like I say, hopefully you're seeing footage on the screen and some pictures and bits and pieces. But as you come in, certainly in the window, they had loads of consoles they were selling, and they seemed pretty good pricing to me. I noticed they had an original Xbox for about 50 quid, which, to be honest, I would have been tempted on, because it's the one console I don't really own, is the original large Xbox. So that might be something I pick up in the future. But loads of handheld, loads of consoles. Inside they had an area really focused on things like pops that people love. So this was, it even says on the outside, GameNation, video games, figures, books, DVDs, CDs, all that sort of stuff, all on the front and more, I think it says. But yeah, so as you can imagine, when you go inside, lots of options. Even comic books they had in there, your classic kind of PS1, PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, and so on and so forth. Cartridges, both boxed and unboxed. So if you want to go in there and pick up a bunch of unboxed carts, they had them there. They had both Japanese and American and European cartridges for all systems. They had a SNES scope. Again, very tempted to pick that up. I don't have one of those, and it is a very nostalgic thing for me. I'd love to just stick it on the wall, to be honest. So I will probably pick one up at some point. But then at the back, in a glass cabinet, they had a stack. I saw them straight away. I was like, oh, that looks like Amiga big box games. And they did. So I went in there. They were in a glass cabinet, but this wasn't one of those situations where you have to feel embarrassed about asking. I literally said, do you mind if I have a look in the cabinet to go through the games? Because I could tell they were double stacked. I could tell there were games behind the ones that I could see. And the guy just literally opened the cabinet, like it wasn't even locked. So I could have done it myself, but I always like to ask if something's in the cabinet, because you never know, sometimes they are locked if they're really high price games in there. So yeah, slid the cabinet open, and I was able to just rummage through all of the big box games. So and they had quite a few there. They had some quite pricey games in there. When I say pricey, I mean games that are like £50 and above, in the Amiga range. And there was probably say 15 to 20 games, but he did say there are more. He has got more, so they will be. He's got to go through, sort out pricing, and then put them out. They'd recently moved them from one area of the shop into this area, so hopefully when I go back, and I will definitely be going back because it is somewhere we like to take the dog for a walk and stuff, because she loves running around on the beach, especially in the winter. If you've got a dog, go down that way because you can use all of the beaches because they're kind of closed for the, not closed for the public, but most people aren't sunbathing in November or December. So you can take your dog down there and they can run wild as long as you clean after them, you know, which you do. But your dog can go crazy down there. So yeah, we'll definitely go down again, and I will definitely be going in, but I'll be picking up stuff up. They also had figures in there as well for those that really like collectible figures. That was all in there. You know, what do you call them, sort of unique consoles off of like video games and stuff, where they have, like, you know, they've done special designs on them and that sort of thing. Controllers, you know, loose and boxed. Skylander figures, if you want those. We've got a ton of Skylander figures in the house. They had none that we didn't have. You know, there's always there's one out there called Pinata. That's the holy grail that we're after. So anyone's got one, let me know. Yeah, it was a really nice little store, really nice. Nice to walk around, really cool atmosphere. Like, it didn't feel like I was intruding or anything. Nice to look around, and it was really, you know, just really good shop. So really happy I got there. Did I pick anything up is the question. Of course I picked up something. I wasn't going to leave a big stack of Amiga games and not pick anything up, so I got these two. Now, I would have picked up more. I had the whole family with me, so that whole time I felt like I was stopping their time from being out and about and walking around Herne Bay. So I sort of was in and out fairly quickly. I did a bit of filming, but not much, and I went through the games fairly quickly. Now, if I'd had more time, if I'd been on my own, if it'd just been me and my boys, maybe we'd have stood in there for a good hour and really gone through everything. But it was really nice what we picked up anyway. So the first game I picked up is a classic on the Amiga. Everyone will know this game. I think it came out on a few other systems as well, but it is pretty much known as a classic on the Amiga, and that is Zool. There we go. So a really fast-paced platformer. They call them like Euro platformers because they're very heavy on collectathons. So you've got to collect an awful lot of stuff to get out of the level. And, you know, famous for the Chupa Chump lollies that are in there, and all the branding that came along with that. But yeah, a really cool game, really fast. Can be a little bit difficult to control. You can grab onto walls, you can spin, you can zoom across the screen pretty quickly, slide and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, quite a difficult. Is it a difficult game? It is if you try and do it really fast. If you take your time, you can get through it, no problems. But yeah, Zool, and it's really nice. As you can see there, I paid £15 for it. I have no idea whether that's a good rate, but I was quite happy to pay £15 for what is a nice conditioned Amiga game. And so nice, in fact, I didn't realise this, but obviously it has the manual, of course. It has the discs, yes, but it also has the poster. Now, I can't get this poster out and show you. I'll probably try and take a photo of it. So hopefully around about now, a picture appears of this poster, because it's a big poster. It's a proper, you know, several folds out, etc, etc. It's going to be quite big for me to get that all out. But I will try and take a picture of it. But look, unused, unblemished Zool poster. So really happy to have that. I might even be daring enough to see if I can put it on the wall somewhere. I don't mind that I use it. I know people would say no, leave it in the packet, but this is my game now. It's probably going to be mine forever until I'm no longer here, and then well, what happens to after that is irrelevant. I'm not here. You know, I might try and put that poster up because it is a very iconic thing. So yeah, really happy with that. Really happy with the condition. The box, I will do a little bit of an iron job on it just to straighten out a few bits and pieces, but otherwise it's in darn good condition. Especially when I put it in one of the box protectors, that will make it gleam a little bit. And the next one. So the last game I picked up, there's only 2 games I picked up there, and this one is the one that we all laugh at. And rightly so. I finally, in my own personal collection, I finally have Skidmarks. And not only Skidmarks, but Super Skidmarks, because Super Skidmarks is way better than just ordinary Skidmarks, let's face it. So yeah, another £15, which I thought was really good for this. It is a better version of the game. If you don't know this game at all, it is an isometric racing game, and the physics in it are really good. really enjoy playing this game. I love the sweeping and sliding around the corners. I love that it leaves skid marks in the actual ground, and it's just a great fun game. So yeah, skid marks. Can't wait to get this played. I've played it. I've got it on the GoTech drives and stuff like that. But really happy to add this into the collection. It's not the special cow edition, which has got the cow car on the front. But actually, I quite like that. I quite like the minis. So yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the vid. Those are my pickups. That was my little bit about the retro shop. And hopefully you'll get to visit yourself, because I'll certainly be going again. All right. See you on the next time. Bye.